Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Really Charlie podcast. And my guest today is Tracee Guilford of Speaking Counts. This lady is amazing. I got a referral from Paulo Paris, as we know him, Paul Paris from New Bedford, Massachusetts. And he said, you got to get her on. You got to get her on. You know, she's a broadcaster, journalist, digital creator, content creator. She does it all. And the one thing I like about her is my perception. She's a very strong woman, and everyone that I spoke to about her has said that. You know, and I truly, I love inspiring women, strong women, because that's where I came from. You know, right? My dad wasn't around; he was around periodically, and so I had nothing but strong women raising me throughout my lifetime. And as it is, you know, I got strong women that are my kids. You know, they're very strong. They do their thing. They're great moms, great spouses, and I truly am blessed. So, as a poet, I wrote this song. I wrote this poem years ago, and it was titled "Man That Woman." So, my friend Tracee, my brand new friend, man, that woman is she is amazing. So we're gonna talk to her for a little while, okay? And thanks for everyone joining me here on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So what's going on, Tracee?
Thank you for having me. First of all, that welcome was pretty amazing. So I
Thank you.
appreciate it very, very much. And let me just add that music had me grooving and start jamming in the background. So great choice of music, I must say.
Well, I actually, believe it or not, I wrote it, and
Oh wow.
the music came from Suno, and you know that's one thing I like as a new songwriter. You know, I can kind of dibble and dabble with a few things, and Suno did it right by my um, and I like it. I like it, and I always think about changing it up, but I'm gonna leave it like it is. You know.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. Super mellow, gets the guest ready to talk. So I thought it was
Mhm.
perfect.
So today I had a chance to check out some of your videos, and one thing that hit me pretty good is senior living,
Mm,
and it's it's been on my mind for the past couple of weeks, only because of some of my family and friends are going through some things. And when I seen that, I just was, I said, wow, talk about spiritual. It just all, I don't know. It's weird how you think about things and then something comes forward like your video. And so, but before we go there, I want to talk about speaking counts and what inspired that.
so speaking counts, what I will say is I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2016.
Oh man,
And that's honestly where speaking counts came from. You know, when and let me apologize for my nasally sound right now. I just came back from Miami and I picked up a little cold, so bear with me. Bear with
yeah,
me. So, but I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2016. And of course, when you have unexpected diagnoses, you never know what can happen from, job, if you're going to work part-time, full-time, what that you just don't know what it's going to look like. So
mhm,
I ended up working part-time, and while I was working part-time, speaking counts kind of came about through that. I decided to get back to my purpose. My background is in communication, so I wanted to get back to being intentional and what I was passionate about, which was communications and public speaking. So
mhm,
initially it started off as me coaching others on how to speak publicly, and it eventually kind of evolved into a little bit more me sharing topics or information that I'm very experienced in so that I could help others. So, speaking counts, the name really speaks for itself, in my opinion. It's really about speaking up, speaking out, advocating for what's important to you, and not being afraid to share what's important to you, and just standing up for what's right in so many ways. And so me being able to share my experiences with others is really, an opportunity for other people to see that, they can overcome obstacles, they can get through things too. So that's really where Speaking Counts came about. It just, I've always been really, really big on empowerment and helping others and wanting to inspire others and uplift others. And that's really what Speaking Counts is all about. And people understanding that they can speak up as well and stand up for what's right and what they believe in.
Awesome. That's real important. We need so much of that. And speaking of speaking out, speaking counts rather. This is a 12th Street Talkback. Victoria J from Star 107 FM, and she is definitely one of those strong women that speak out. And she says, "Amen." Definitely, I hope that now that both of you are here, Victoria J, you got to check out. You got to check out my guest right here, Tracee Guilford. You have to check her out because I know on your radio station, she is definitely one of those guests that you want to have on a Saturday morning to kind of lift people and empower men and women, So, Victoria J, you need to check out Tracee. She's on all social media. Check her out. Okay. And she says, I definitely will. Okay.
That
And
sounds great.
Tracee, I did that because the networking is important, right? Especially with you and getting your content out and teaching and learning. Victoria J is a DJ. She's does her thing, and she's definitely someone you want to reach out to. Um,
Absolutely. I'd love to.
okay, Tracee. Now, one thing I that impressed me about you is just what you're saying. You're speaking. You're very confident. You definitely ready to teach somebody. Right? It's almost like that. You're a teacher on the screen, and the I'm glad that you are doing your thing. And for me to kind of just get you on here, it means a lot on the Really Charlie podcast because there's so many people that listen in silence. And now you're asking for people to speak up.
Right.
And so it's so important that those people that are out in the audience, hidden, not being seen, but listening. And then later on, they said, "Hey, I listened to the podcast, and thank you very much." I said, "You didn't appear on the screen. I didn't see you. I had it on. I was working. I had my earbuds on. I was listening, and then the feedback later comes to who was that guest. I need to meet them. I need to do this." And so the Really Charlie podcast is about networking, and I want to make sure that people reach out to you if you want them to. You may be overwhelmed. So.
Absolutely. No, I'm always open and ready. I stay ready. And
Hmm.
and like I said, it's about helping others, and that's a passion of mine. I do work full time, but I also make time for this because it's very, very important to me. Not too long ago, we just did a Love Shouldn't Hurt or Love Doesn't Hurt panel discussion about domestic violence. And,
Mm.
that was something that was extremely important to me because I had someone who I considered a friend who died last year
Oh, wow.
from, yeah, from her husband. 6 months, he shot her in the back. She was trying to leave an argument and he killed her on her
Man.
birthday. So that kind of ignited something in me because I've been through domestic violence myself in college. And so it just kind of has taken me by storm. Just it's become a movement, I should say. Being able to talk to colleges, to students at colleges, and sharing my story of domestic violence. Because I feel like I'm helping what has happened to her,
Mm.
carrying that on.
That's a key age time, because some people get into some really serious relationships. in the during the college times, that last couple of years of high school into college, they get real serious and don't know the red flags about domestic violence. So it's good to reach out to those college students, especially when they're away from home, right?
Right. Right.
They just may not
They don't
may
know.
not have access to reaching out to people a whole lot quicker than when they were at home. Uh,
Yeah. They're vulnerable.
Victoria,
They don't.
yeah, Victoria J says I just I'm just glad I was able to make it tonight. I definitely could use some coaching and public speaking. I am comfortable behind the mic, but public, not so much. Yeah, Victoria J, you need to talk to Tracy and get that happening. So the I want to go back to domestic violence because it's very important, right? Especially for me. I've been 30 years in law enforcement. I've seen it all the time. But even prior to law enforcement, is I experienced in my own family. My mom went through a lot. Batted every probably opportunity that her and my dad met. You know, uh, when they wasn't living together. I mean, they were young, but being young is not an excuse, right? Right
Right.
is right and wrong is wrong. You don't, and so it put me through a lot. When growing up, I almost got to the point where is that normal, and me questioning whether it was normal or not. And I truly was saying, is this what a man does to a woman? And it was truly, truly um, very hard for me uh, growing up and seeing all that. It still scars me. There's certain things that happen in my life that triggers and traumas me very much so when it comes to that. So
Yeah, it's a very serious topic, and as you said, it is something that really what we've learned is that people as young as in the eighth grade are experiencing this. And so, I think what a lot of people don't understand is it's not just physical. I mean, you've got emotional abuse, verbal abuse, psychological abuse, all the things. And sometimes in the eighth grade, you have no idea what you're experiencing.
mm,
So, for me, it's about really addressing the issue at this younger age, because what we see a lot of times is that when you get older, you kind of it's a little bit harder sometimes for you to leave the situation.
mm,
You because I've been there. I know it's tough. It's a tough decision to walk away from something, or someone you've known for so long.
yeah,
And at the younger age, I feel like if we can kind of plant the seed in the eighth grade and on up, then maybe by the time they reach, college years, they know what to look for. They know when they should let someone go. Sometimes you don't want to let the situation go, or you don't want to let that person go, because like I said, that's all you know. But what I always say is when you know better, you do better. So
mm,
if I can step up and help just one person and educate at the younger age, so that by the time they do reach their college years, and if that'll help make a difference, then I'll do it. But to me, that's what it's about. It's about helping others.
yeah. You're definitely practicing what you preach because you had mentioned something. If I help one person, then I did then that's good enough.
Mhm.
More. I'm paraphrasing now, but that was pretty much what you said in your video. And yeah, it's you never know. You may help someone to listen and learn of what they're going through and how to get away from it. Um, and that person, you may have saved their life.
That's right.
And
Right.
it's very, very important. I I think I definitely always had a soft spot for you know men and women that go through that because sometimes it's just not that easy to get away from sometimes. So,
That's right. And a lot of people don't realize that men experience it too. It's just underreported. Not
yes,
not talked about as much, but we do know that it occurs, in both males and females. So it's definitely not one-sided at all.
yeah. The 12th Street says facts. I was speaking with my employee yesterday about hazing, and she showed me some videos. Absolutely horrible, the violence. It was abuse. Also, I saw a lot of domestic violence too. Amazing.
It is. I
Um,
mean, I see it every day. We see it. It's in the news every single day now. Every
mhm,
single day.
yeah. Um, Crazy. Like all the different crime channels and crime shows. This, huge percentage of all those crimes and murders that were committed, it all comes back to domestic violence.
Hmm.
And it's amazing, and abuses but 12th Street, I know, and I'm glad that you're there in your workplace and you're able to kind of school your employees and but also be careful. Be careful in the workplace. Even though you have the confidence that you're telling somebody the right thing, but also sometimes they turn on you. So just be careful and bring your bring your 12th Street knowledge to the workplace when you're kind of analyzing things and keep yourself safe also. Um, so Tracee, you went on a trip. You
Yes.
were down at uh, South Beach
Yes.
and you enjoyed it from what I understand.
Yes.
Let's talk
Very,
about that. Let's
very, very
talk.
much. So definitely, South Beach was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I must say it was my first time going to Miami.
Mm.
Miami did not disappoint. Let me just say, took me out of my comfort zone quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
From ATV riding, I think was the biggest thing that everybody has said. We didn't know you had that in you.
Mm.
I was on an ATV with the mask, with the helmet, had a great time, and also on a yacht. We were just living it up. My daughter graduated from high school. She's getting ready to go to college. And so we went,
Congratulations.
thank you. We went to enjoy, enjoy the Florida sands, the beaches, the palm trees, the beautiful.
Mm.
So she's an athlete and she's trying to live it up before she goes off to college on June 17th. So that's what we
Right.
did. And some girlfriends, some other people from her senior class of 2026.
Mm-hmm.
And we went down and had a great time. Now I'm back at work. Little sniffle, but that's okay. We're gonna make it
Yeah,
work.
we're gonna make it work.
We're gonna make it work. We're gonna move forward. We're gonna influence. We're gonna impact. We're gonna help people. We're gonna do all the things. So, yep, back in business. Back in business.
Very nice. Um, I lived at I lived in Fort Walton Beach, Florida, for two
Okay.
years,
Yep.
and enjoyed it. Enjoyed it. Have some dear friends still there. Um, and so, but that was a good experience. A uh, very learning experience for me to be down there. Some of the people have are still my friends to this day, and especially coming from the Northeast. I was in LA before that, and before moving to Florida, so it was kind of a culture shock, and go from the city of Los Angeles and then end up going down to Fort Walton Beach, and but no disappointments. I truly cherished those 2 years. It was amazing.
And that's near Destin, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
right next door.
Right.
Yep.
And Destin is another one of my favorite places. We just came back from there not too long ago too. But um,
Yeah.
and so I know about Destin and Fort Walton Beach and all
Mhm.
this stuff. So I love it.
the craziest what you seen in Destin, right? Just picture all that coastline was bare. It was open sea. You could see the ocean, the Gulf. There was no buildings. There was no nothing. You would be on the roadside and see the ocean.
Well, it's all built up now.
Yeah, it is. It's all built up. And
Ready
my
for
friend,
tourism.
my friends tell me all the time that no, Destin is not the place it used to be. It's people came and they developed one after another, and so, but so I have friends and family in Florida, and
Mm,
it's
great
it's def-
place to be when it's not hurricane, when there are no hurricanes around.
Mhm. Yeah, there was a scary experience when I was down there, and just got pieces of the hurricane, but it was scary because the wind was roaring like a banshee. It was nothing like the way we had them up in the Northeast. Down south it's an entirely different thing.
Yeah.
So um, so what's your next goal? What's your next teaching moment? What are you gonna do next?
So I've talked to a couple of other universities. So I'll probably start doing some more on that end in terms of going to some colleges and sharing. Domestic violence seems to be a big thing on that university level. They have high interest in it.
Hmm.
So that's definitely going to be something that I'm going to continue. Like I said, that's a movement to me. But also, in terms of speaking on other topics, I can definitely do that as well. So just depends on what the interest is, where it lies. Talking about breast cancer, that experience, I've done that for the Atlanta Medical Association. I've done that in the past as well. So, I'm open to other things, other topics that I'm well versed on, and just my experiences. I say all the time, everybody has a story.
Hmm.
Everybody has a story. And I think it's important, how you resonate with others, what you share with others can impact their life, can help save a life, as you said earlier. And so, even about, you mentioned senior living, I've experienced that as well from, both angles, helping out as a caregiver, but also helping caregivers, working in senior living. That was very, 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 very eye opening, I should say.
Hmm.
Helping families get through that or navigate that piece is very difficult because a lot of times people, they don't want to place them in a senior living community. They have some reservations about it. They don't know if their loved one, how they're going to be treated, and so really helping to guide people and educate them on senior living and the perks, the benefits of it is something that I've done many, many times as well, because people have so many misconceptions about senior living. So, in terms of a goal, my goal is to help others, as I've said multiple times now, go out, share my story, share my experiences, hoping that it will help impact other people.
Hmm. Very nice. We got a YouTube follower on Calvin says, Calvin Nash 4049 says, as a community, we have seen it. Men experience it more than spoken about. Yeah, we talked
Most,
about that.
most definitely, that is that's facts, as he would say.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fact. That is the truth. And like I said, it's underreported. But I think what happens with men sometimes is because men are, you know, expected to be so strong and
Yeah.
tough, and you're not gonna go and tell on your lady for being abusive or whatnot, because that you're supposed to portray that strength.
Hmm.
So I think that because they don't report it, they how often does a man call the police when a
Yeah.
woman is being violent towards them? How often do we see that? Whereas on the flip side of that, a female probably reports it more than a male does. So that's why the numbers, you can't really see it in the numbers as much. But like I said, I'm pretty sure it's happening.
Yeah,
So
and on the other side is that reporting it to police. There's
I,
also
yeah,
stereotypical, or people perceive, if a man is telling, what does he want out of it? Like, he's not really telling about like the abuse. The abuse isn't the true story. Maybe he has an alternative motive, and why he wants this woman to be reported on. And truly, they are getting abused. But sometimes law enforcement may not. It'll take them a little bit more convincing to for them to believe that the man is being abused.
is being abused. Yeah, that's a great point. And
Yeah.
on both sides, a lot of times women don't report it either. I know for me, in the situation that I was in at the time, I barely reported. I mean, I actually not barely. I didn't report. I didn't want anybody to know. So
Mm,
a lot of times, victims on both sides, the male and the female, you're embarrassed by it. You don't want anyone to necessarily know what you're going through.
yeah.
So you're not going to report it. I didn't call the police one time. I had a
Mm,
close friend who knew what was going on. I had a couple of people who knew what was going on at that time. But in terms of calling the police, I never did.
mm.
So you have that aspect of it as well. People just don't call at all because they're too afraid.
True. True. Just to get back to senior living, 12th Street says senior living. Yes, our family members also are on the receiving end of abuse. That is one of the reasons I started to advocate for our seasoned. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, very so. I mean, we've seen that in the news a million times too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the abuse that can happen. But I used to always tell families, stay involved with your loved one. If you place your loved one in a community, stay involved. Don't just drop them off and
Mm-hmm.
go once a month. If you
True.
place your loved one in a senior living community, show up. It's just like being a teacher with your student,
Mm.
a student and a parent. I would be at the school anytime I needed to show my face, to make sure people knew who I was, to
Yes.
make sure there was an issue, they knew who to call. It's the same way with senior living. If you place your loved one in a senior living community, you should be the exact same way as if they're your kid, they're your child.
Mm.
That's how you have to operate even in senior living, because the more they see you, they know that you're involved. And to me, it's less likely to happen. It's unfortunate that I would even, have to say that. But, a lot of times when family members are just dropped off, you never know what could be happening to them if you're not present. You have to
Mm-hmm.
be present. Bottom line, you have to be present.
Yeah, because abuses happen everywhere, including in the professional level. So you gotta take care of family, and especially that family that took care of you,
Right,
and guided you through life,
right.
as a young woman or as a young man, and was there for you. So now that they're in some kind of community, you got to make sure that you're kind of guiding, and, like you said, treat them like if they were your student, your child, or whatever. You got to check on them.
Got to check on them.
Yep.
You pay it
So,
forward. Got to.
yeah. 12th Street says, me either. She said, I didn't report my abuse.
Very
And
common. Very,
yeah.
yes. Yes.
Um, and especially, like, my perception of you and her in 12th Street is that you're strong women. You're going to speak out. You're
Mhm.
going to say what you have to. And look, on both cases, you didn't report it. So, and what was the reason why do you think that happened?
So I know for me, I think it was more so. At the time, I thought I loved her. I didn't
Mm,
get in trouble. It was a protection type,
yes.
because they'll do something and then they'll apologize for it, and so now you tend to sweep away what happened 20 or 30 minutes ago. So for me, and I can, like I said, I can only speak for myself and my experience. It was more of a protection. I wanted to protect him in
Mhm.
any way possible, even though I had a busted lip, even though he tried to choke me, even though all these things, still I was felt trapped,
No. Nice.
embarrassed, didn't want to tell others. Like I said, I had a couple of friends who I was very, very close to, who I would call when an incident would occur, and they would ask me over and over again, why are you still with him? What is
Mhm.
going on? Like, what's wrong?
Yes.
I would tell people all the time, you have to let the person go through it. It's hard for you to watch it, and you can support, but sometimes when you try to get too involved, they'll push you away. They'll shut you out. They'll close you out, and they won't tell you anything. So you
Mhm.
have to leave that little bit of a window so you can have that open dialogue with the victim,
Okay.
because they will shut you out.
Mhm.
And
So
I'm
true.
fortunate to have the close friends that I had who knew what I was going through, stayed by my side, and supported me through it all. And so I'm very, very grateful for them.
Um, 12th Street says, Charlie, you have to you definitely have to pass her info to me. I would love to have her on both platforms. So true. So 12th Street has her own podcast, and she also has the radio station. So
Okay.
um,
Would
I would
love to.
definitely share that with her, and you guys can get connected. And it's Victoria J, so you'll know Tracy,
Okay.
and we'll definitely do that. So looking at networking on the Really Charlie podcast,
Do it. Yes.
and it's from two of my guests. Your current guest, Victoria, is my previous guest from a couple of weeks ago, and so that's good. And that's both of you, all three of us, we haven't met each other than the podcast. So it's good that we stay connected and network. And the one thing that you had mentioned during this podcast was going to colleges. Well, I'm around a lot of college people, administrators and staff members, and so when I see something that should be interesting and where you can fill in and help out, I'm definitely going to contact you and let you know. So
I appreciate that. Absolutely. Let me know
yeah, you're
any
definitely. Hmm.
conferences, women's conferences,
Oh, nice, nice.
anything like that. I'm ready. What
Yeah.
you are.
So all right. Let's see. We at 34 minutes in this beautiful, beautiful podcast. I am so honored to have Tracee on board and doing this. Look at the input and what's going to happen after this podcast, like the day after, the hour after, is people going to review it. And I'm going to produce some clips of the conversation we had. I'll share it with you, Tracee, once we do that. But I want to say thank you to everyone on Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube on both channels. On Sometimes You Have to Lose Yourself podcast and on the Really Charlie podcast. Please like and subscribe those channels. It's very, very important. And so, Tr- Tracee, let's talk about where we can reach you. What platforms are you on?
So I am on IG, and I never remember my. I don't say it crazy. My website is kind of long, so I hardly remember it. But I am on Instagram. I just started a YouTube channel as well. Facebook, LinkedIn. I'm on TikTok. So you can actually type in Tracee Guilford, and all those things will
Mhm.
probably come up as well. But speaking counts. You can type that in. That will also come up. So you will be able to
True.
follow me on those platforms, on those social media platforms. And you can also link to
So,
my website from those platforms.
right. Okay. What I'll definitely do is share it in the comments when I have a chance. That way, people can do that. But 12 Street, 12th Street says, great conversation. Yeah, it is. This is what
Yeah,
I like about it, right? I like to highlight situations, highlight the guests that I have on air, and always have a teaching moment in the podcast because these videos are produced and they are not going anywhere. They're going to be around forever. So even if it's not tonight, but maybe it's tomorrow, maybe it's next month, maybe it's next year that someone sees this and it becomes a teaching moment no matter when. So that's
that's right.
really, yeah. Um so now that your daughter graduated, she's gonna hit the college scene and get her degree
Yes,
and hopefully make six figures.
that's right.
And she
God,
comes home to mama and she says, "Mom, what do you want?" So when your daughter asks you, "What do you want?" and now you have to make a choice, she's gonna give you a gift. All
mm-hmm,
right,
mm-hmm.
what would that gift be?
So to be honest with with you, her success would be my gift.
See that? Just like a
Her success
mama.
would be my gift. So I just, I want her to do well, to excel, and to be able to thrive in this world. Because as
Yeah.
you know, this is a difficult world. Groceries are high.
Mm.
Rent,
You,
mortgages are high. Everything is high. So I really just want her to be able to thrive and to, just manage
true.
everything with a smile. So her success, though, honestly, her success would be that would be my gift.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
everything has gone up. I was talking about this the other day, and you can sit down for an hour or two and have a dinner or lunch, and that dinner and lunch costs more than your
Yeah.
hourly wage at work, and you
Yes,
know,
yes, that's right. That's
oh,
right.
it's crazy.
It's crazy expensive. It's
Yes,
crazy
it is.
expensive. So just it's hard out here. And
Mm-hmm.
being an athlete, she can be set up for success. She's a
Yes,
solid basketball player. They do a lot for athletes now in college, and I just told her, just play your cards right, and you won't have to work hard when you get ready to come
true.
to college. So, it'll be a lot of, like you were saying earlier, teachable moments. There'll be a lot of teachable moments, just finances, how to handle money, saving money, that kind of thing, making sure you're investing, stocks, Roth IRAs, all those good things. So, just really being able to teach her, as well as my son, who will graduate in 2027. So, being
Mm,
able to teach both of them, they're both athletes,
nice.
being able to teach them and kind of give them that foundation they need to thrive out here in this world, because it's not easy. It's definitely not easy. And you talk about
Yeah.
being to have some strength to be out here in this world.
Mhm. Um, 12th Street has a question. It says, "Does she coach in public speaking or just speak?" I guess that's a question for you.
For
Do
me,
you yeah, do you coach in
I can do both.
okay, all right.
So
I
I can,
put the
and also I speak. So
mm,
I can do both.
good. I have a former guest of mine, Dr. Heather Larkin, who is she definitely deals with high school and college athletes.
Mm,
And especially being aware of um their mental health and what they're going through. Only truly an athlete could understand what another athlete's going through, right?
that's
Sometimes a parent may never have been an athlete, right, and doesn't understand that competitive nature or that peer pressure or team pressure. And so Dr. Heather Larkin, who lives up this way in the Northeast, but she's produced a program and has some apps, and I'm gonna end up sending you a link to her program, and that way you can look at it, and if you think it's something that your kids can lead will need either on the high school and the collegiate level, just look into it. But I'll send that to you.
Absolutely, I appreciate that. Yeah, because my daughter, she's had two ACL tears, one in
Mm,
knee, and she bounced back. And the fact that she's going to college on a full ride D1 is really, really exciting because
yeah,
we just didn't know what would happen if she was gonna play again after that second injury. So, and to your point with the mental health, that was big for her. It was all mental, especially that second time around when she bounced back. So that's very, very important.
yeah, and Doctor Larkin is it's her doctrines in education, but she this
Hmm.
program is just it's amazing to different. I can name certain athletes, I, but I know I'm going to mess up the name. So, but she's been involved in so many different athletes, and so I want to make sure I give that to you. Mike Samails joining us from YouTube. He's another athlete
Mm,
that wrote a book, and his book. I got my back screen. I can't reach over to get the book, but amazing book, and it talks about what he went through in his life and experiences, and the life and love of the game of basketball, and truly, truly amazing book. So, but anyway, so all my friends are on board, man. This is real special. I like this. 12th Street says, "Thank you for all you do, Charlie, and love you. I'm glad I caught this. Yeah, I'm happy that you caught it. I'm very happy that you loving and supporting the Really Charlie podcast. Thank you, 12th Street in Victoria. I will definitely get you the information on Tracee, um, as soon as tomorrow morning. All right. So, Tracee, we're gonna let me see. Um, when you mentioned about senior living,
yeah.
and a friend of mine just went through an episode with his mom, and with it seems like it may be Alzheimer's or dementia, and
Mm-hmm.
so she lives alone,
Mm-hmm.
um, and so now I guess he's got some critical thinking to do, and uh, I feel bad for him because his mom is his ace, man. Man, just uh, and when it comes to a deck of cards, she's nothing but aces, and so it's hard for him to see what's going on.
Yeah.
And I can't. I know he'll do the best he can when it comes to mom, and he's definitely put his life on halt, and I have to definitely check on him tomorrow, the next day, and see how he's doing. Because you know how you see things in a friend's face, right? You
Mm-hmm.
see it, you feel it, the body language, everything's changed, and I just seen this deep, deep concern, and almost he's hurt, and so I think when we say we got to check on people, right? We got to check
Yeah.
in on our friends and family, and I'm definitely gonna do that when it comes to him.
Yeah. Dementia is hard too. That's hard
Mm,
because the person is really not who you remember at all. They kind of turn into somebody different. And so as a family member, it's hard to watch that. It's
so
hard to
true.
watch. So my heart goes out to him. I know that's difficult.
Mm, yeah. So all right. Well, I got to put you on the hot seat, and I know you don't fear earth, wind, or fire because you're a powerful woman. But I got to put you on the hot seat. Who would you love to see on the Really Charlie podcast?
I would love to see Trisha Starks Byron, who is
Mm,
a personal injury attorney. I think
nice.
she would be a great guest, but I have two. Can
Okay. Two's fine.
Okay, so the other person is Lily Starks with Lily's Kitchen. She is a
Mm,
caterer. She has the best cuisine around. I mean,
mm,
best food, best food. She does catering. She's been doing that now probably for a couple of years. Couple
mm.
of years, and you definitely need to have her on to talk about that good food she cooks. But
I am.
also Trisha Starks with Trisha Starks Byron. She's a personal
Mm.
injury attorney and located in Kennesaw. She's a young attorney. She owns her own firm and she does very, very well. So she could also probably answer any questions people may have about personal injury with car crashes,
Mm.
accidents, dog bites, whatever the case may be. But definitely those two.
I definitely will reach out to them. Just if you can send me something, email,
Sure.
anything, a link, anything, and I will definitely professionally reach out to both of them and saying that they were requested by you, and we'll try to set up something. My family reminds me that I said I would take the summer off, and
Doesn't look like you're going to be able to do that.
oh no, 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 I can't. It's such a routine, and I always say I'm going to, and it it's not going to happen. Um, 12th Street 12th Street just said that she followed you on IG. So you
Okay.
know what? It is the connection. So that's great that we're networking like that. Um, I what I want to do is just give you an opportunity to kind of close with some comments, and we got about 10 minutes, and anything you want to talk about, feel free.
Well, I just want to tell everybody to, know your worth, know your value, know that you matter. If there's something that you need to share, speak out about, whatever the case may be, don't be afraid to do it. Own your power, own your strength. You know, strength it comes from within. There may be experiences that you've had. That's where I feel like I've got my strength from is experiences in life at my young 47 age. I've been through
No way.
it. Yeah,
You are not 47.
47 years old. I've
Yeah.
experienced some things that have helped mold me into who I am today, helped mold me into having the strength that I have today. So, don't be afraid to stand up, speak out, know your voice matters, you know, remember that and know your value and know that you're important in this world and this world needs you. So if I had to leave with something, I would want to leave with that.
Perfect. I just speaking counts. It's so important, and especially when it applies to yourself. And so I definitely don't want this to be the last time that you and I talk on this podcast. I truly, truly want to make sure that we connect again. 12th Street says, well said. And I agree.
Thank you.
Um, Tracee, you were definitely amazing, amazing person. And
Thank you. I
let's
appreciate
try to do this again, revisit it. What happens in maybe in the next few months, but that doesn't stop you from reaching out to me. If there's something you want to deliver, a message you want to deliver, just get in touch with me, and I'll make sure we do a special episode, and get you on the podcast as soon as possible.
that.
So
Good. That sounds good. And one more thing. I'm sorry, Charlie.
sure,
Thank
sure.
you for reaching out and having me on to share about speaking counts. And I appreciate you. So thank
uh,
you.
I appreciate you so much in this very short week that we, well, actually 2 weeks, because we had to make sure that we had freed up some time, and that was about 2 weeks ago. So I appreciate you for everything that you're doing. I appreciate you, and the Lord God for you surviving what you've been through in life with
Thank,
cancer, um and heaven's missing an angel, and it's you. We definitely don't want you going nowhere. You stay right here on earth. Keep doing the empowerment that you're doing, and we'll go from there.
thank
Um,
you. Will. And you keep doing what you're doing.
I sure will. I sure will. I love it.
Helping us.
And,
Oh yeah. You keep moving forward, keep pushing. And
all
thank you.
right. Well, God bless Tracee. You need me. You know how to reach me. And all right.
God
Thank
bless
you.
you. Thank
All
you.
right. Well,
Bye.
bye bye. All right. Hey everyone, that is one. She got 5 stars. Just everything that she's talking about. Just her knowledge, everything, her professionalism is 5 stars. That information that Tracee has for you is amazing, and it's well needed across the board. Doesn't matter where you come from, rich or poor, you know, black or white. It doesn't matter. Culturally, domestic violence is all over the place. So, you know, reach out, share, support her. And I agree. Yes, that was a powerful podcast. Um, and thank you, Paulo Paris, for definitely sending Tracee my way. And it's all about networking. And he was a guest, and he sent her my way, and we ended up getting this podcast done. I was late. Excuse me for being a bad host. I broke my other glasses, but I got a very nice haircut by Valdi Correa. And truly, and appreciate my time on this podcast with you on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So, Tracee, I'm gonna produce some clips, and I'm gonna send them your way of everything that we talked about, so you can use on your social media on Instagram and everything. So, all right, everyone, I'm gonna end with my outro song, and I appreciate you. I will speak on tomorrow night on Sometimes You Have to Lose Yourself podcast with Marvin Speller, the author of Unpacking Grief, Shattered to Onward. We will do our podcast at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And also in the morning, I will be at Chopping It Up at Honeydew with Walter Maniz and Chop Sterner. And we'll be doing that podcast tomorrow morning. So thank you. And I appreciate you. Love, much love for you.
It's the Really Charlie podcast. Sounds so true. Grab a chair, pour out a glass. Let's break through. Echoes in the room as the stories unfold. Tune in, lean back, let the moments be bold.